Hey guys, welcome back. All right, so today we're going to talk about motivated sellers. What motivates them? How are we going to get them to understand that we have a deal worthwhile, that we have something to offer, and that they want to work with us as opposed to selling it on their own? Because a lot of the leads that you're going to be dealing with are for sale by owners. They're not interested in paying realtor fees. They're not interested in paying you, and they think that they can do this on their own. And they are sure that their house is worth every penny that they're asking, whether it is or it isn't. All right? To have success at this, you really have to understand the mindset of the seller. You have to understand who you're talking to, and you have to understand that this is not sales. As much as I want to do a sales video right now and get you into the, mindset of sales and give you, the information needed, we're not selling something right now. It's going to feel like it is. All right, so we're talking to the sellers. And right now, when we first call them, they have the power because they're the sellers. Understand that when you make that call to them, you're not soliciting nothing. You're not a telemarketer. You're not anybody that's not wanted. You're not imposing on these people. They put out an ad and we're responding to it. So they're actually excited when you first get on the call. I like to try to keep it about 5 minutes in until I start really getting into being an investor and that I have a offer on the table for them. I really, in the beginning, I want to get them to 3 things. We want to hit 3 things, and that is know, like, and trust. All right, this is all very important. Let's see if I can get a light on here. That's better. All right. I want to have 3 things established: know, like, and trust. Very important in anything that you do involving business. If they don't know you, if they don't like you, if they don't trust you, they're not going to work with you. It's as simple as that. And if you're familiar with like Jordan Belford's straight line of persuasion, you want to hit a 10 on all of these charts. So if you're looking at it on a scale level, this needs to match up. If you don't have this, you're not going to get the sale. You're not going to make the deal. You're not going to get them to sign that contract. All right, but let's really think about the mindset. Let's understand coming from their position and what they're feeling once they get a call from us. Because once we call them, like we said, we're sending out a text blast. If you're in our Property Pros membership, you're going to be getting a lot of leads. We're going to be sending you Excel sheets. We're going to be sending you the leads. We're going to be sending you information on these leads. All right, because really, the fortune is in the research. The fortune is in the follow-up. You want to know as much about your prospect as possible. So when you're talking to them, it's all about asking questions. The less you can speak, the better. How do you get someone to like you? Let them talk about themselves. Let them unload their problems on you. All right, because most of these, you don't need to have a motivated seller for lease to option. However, some of them will be motivated, some of them will not be. A lot of the times they're going to say, you'll get some of those people that will, straight out from the gate tell you, we're not desperate, we're not. Because as soon as you say you're an investor, there's going to be something that goes off in their head that triggers them. They're going to get a little, they're going to get a little off balance. They're going to feel like that you're coming in, you're trying to impose, and you're trying to profit. Sometimes they, homeowners don't want their house to go into, the hands of somebody that's just going to make a profit. They want to find a family that's going to enjoy it, especially if maybe, the family's great-great-grandfather built the house from scratch. You have to understand, that's why it's so important to really get into the mindset. Who are you dealing with? Who are you talking to? It's all about becoming, getting a relationship, becoming a friend with them, learning their problem. We can't do nothing. We can't solve their problem if we don't know what their problem is. Think about it like this. You go into a doctor, all right? You go to a doctor. He's not just going to walk in the door and say, "Hey, let me write out a prescription for you. What do you want? You want anything? I got some good stuff back here." They're not going to do that. They're going to ask you questions. They're going to find out. They're going to make a diagnosis, find out what's wrong with you, and prescribe accordingly. All right? So we have to prescribe accordingly. We need to find out what is the problem. Why are you selling? What is the problem? It is so important. We have to solve a problem. And they're not just gonna come out and tell you that. You have to dig. You got to be a detective. That's what an investor is. An investor, inspect the gadget and get your hat on and go out there and find the problem to solve. If you start learning how to solve problems, you're going to excel in any business. All right. So yes, finding the problem, gaining know, like, and trust. How are we going to do that? We want to ask pain questions. How long has the property been on the market? Have you been a landlord long? All right, tell us about your last tenants. Were they good tenants? Did they trash the house? Did they pay on time? Because that's one of the things it's one of the things that's going to come. One of those barriers. If they're just selling the house. So remember, there's two things that we're going after people that are selling, and then we're going after the people that are just renting. And a lot of the time, whether they're selling or renting, and we come at them with a text blast that says, "Hey, I noticed your ad on Craigslist. Would you be willing to sell your house for rent to own?" A lot of the time they're going to say, possibly, well, what did you have in mind? Or maybe. We're going to get either a yes, no, maybe, tell us more, or go fuck yourself, or whatever the case may be. We're going to get that, and then at that point, we're going to sift through them. We're going to get rid of all the no's. We're going to give you everything that's a possibility, anything that has any possibility other than, we're not going to give you ones that have realtors attached, because we don't want to go after ones that are already listed. It's just not really worth it for us. There are other things we can do with real estate agents. Because this is also a marketing course, and we'll get it on later on in the course, we're going to get into marketing and social media marketing and a lot of different aspects. So there are a lot of different opportunities to be making money off of realtors and off of other different deals, wholesaling and that. But for the time being, we want to stick to lease to own. We want to stick to making these deals, putting some money in your pocket now, because this is the quickest, fastest way to start making money in real estate today. So knock down a couple of these, stick to the goal, don't go too off base, and and once you learn, then it's okay to start spreading your wings and start getting creative with it. We want you to get creative. We want you to experiment, just not yet. You got to learn the basics first. So it's very, very important to understand the mindset, to understand what we're doing, what we have to offer, and why we want to keep them talking. Because right now you're not an expert. All right? And that's okay. You'll become an expert at a point in time. And it's going to take getting on call after call after call. It's going to take rejection after rejection after rejection. And as long as you're persistent, keep going on, you take those no's and you follow up, because you're not going to get this on the first try. You're 100%. If you call me up, we're going to put you into a very special group. We'll probably even have you come and doing some videos for some of the members. If you get a deal on your first call, that'll be very exciting. If you do that, we'll have a reward for you somewhere. All right. So that's just, if you do that, let us know. But you're not going to get that on the first call. We didn't. It took us time and time of getting and just nailing out numbers, pounding the phone. All right. Go watch Wolf of Wall Street. That's going to get you inspired. Okay. That's going to get you on the phone. These little black boxes, they're not going to call themselves. So it's a numbers game. You're going to go through it. You're going to get your rejections. But we're fishing. We're fishing for a whale. All right. We want that big whale. And it all comes down to know, like, and trust. Get them to like you. Get them to be able to confide in you and tell them their problem. Tell you their problems. All right. So we're gonna get into know, like, and trust, solving the problem. We want to know how long the property has been on the market, if it's vacant. We want to know why they're selling it. Do they have a job somewhere? Do they gotta move? Do they need money? Do they got a hospital bill? All right, because this is going to determine whether we do a lease option or not. All right, because although we said we want you to stick to this, if you're on the phone and it's not in their best interest, then you're going to modify. All right, you got to be quick on your feet. You got to understand that, like the doctor analogy, not everybody's going to be perfect for this. It's about candidates. what can we help them out best with? If they need to sell quickly, it might be in their best interest to do a wholesale. You know, if they're willing to do a dramatic discount, it might be in their best interest to do a wholesale. However, the whole point of lease to own is that we're able to get full market value. We're able to do that. We're able to lock down the deal, and we're able to get tenants in the house that are eventually going to buy the home, and it's a Band-Aid. Right now, it's not a cure-all, but it's a quick fix, something that's going to get some cash flow, get the house active, and get them some good tenants. All right, because it also boils down to the screening process, finding tenants that are going to be up, that are going to be up to par, that they're going to pay, that they're reliable. And why are they reliable? Because of our system, we're helping both sides. It needs to be a win-win. It needs to be a win-win-win because you want to win too. And you're going to do that by selling your lease option, selling the lease option of the contract from the seller, and you're going to be selling it to the tenant. All right, so it's really about just getting them to understand what exactly it is we offer. That we're able to give them a free program, that we have a huge buyers list. And with that huge buyers list, we're able to market their property to a proper candidate that's going to come in, eventually buy the home, pay them full market value, and we're going to sell that lease option to them. So stay tuned for the next video. We're going to get a little bit more into talking to the seller, what you need to understand about them, and what are those, one of those key phrases, what you should be talking about, and where you want to keep the conversation headed. How we're going to get them to say yes. And we're also going to talk about the no's. All right, we want to make sure that they're saying no at least 4 times before we get them off the phone. All right, so when it goes to that, we're going to get them on the follow-up, and we'll see you in the next video.